We'll be starting in a couple of minutes, just waiting for a few more people to join in. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, and welcome to Gupshup's webinar on how to build and deploy a chatbot to your website. My name is Sohan Maheshwar, and with me is Shreyans Pashwakirti. I lead developer relations for Gupshup, and today we're going to talk a little bit about how you can build a chatbot, customize it, and deploy it onto your own website. This was actually one of the most popular topics we've had so far in our series of webinars. We've had quite a few signups, so thank you all for joining in. Just a little look at our agenda for today. So first, we're going to talk a little bit about the hype around chatbots and bots in general, and how bots are everywhere. And everyone's talking about how bots are taking over the world, and bots are going to replace apps. And we'll look a little bit about that. We're going to talk a little bit about chatbots on websites, what the advantages are, what applications they have, and then we're going to show you a demo as to how you can build and customize your own website bot. Okay, so to start off, I'm sure most of you all are familiar with the bot paradigm, but bots are everywhere, right? Pretty much every tech publication or social media influencer that you look at, everyone's talking about how chatbots are the next big thing, how it has mass market popularity, and people often talk about the paradigm shift, how we have consumed consumer tech. Has moved from the personal computer to the website browser paradigm to the app smartphone paradigm, and now we are in the messaging and the bot paradigm. So chatbots are everywhere. The place that people are seeing the biggest explosion of chatbots right now is on messaging. People love to message. People love using messaging apps. Just some insane stats for you here, that over 2 million users interact with chatbots regularly. In fact, Facebook Messenger recently at their developer conference F8 said that they have over 100,000 bots on their platform, and they have about 100,000 developers working on creating Facebook Messenger bots, which are pretty staggering numbers. Another collaborative messaging tool, Slack, has recently said that they have more than 4 million users, out of which 1.25 million are paying users. These are staggering numbers, and of course you have other messaging apps as well. You have Viber, Telegram, and Kik and Line, and each of them have easily about 600 to 800 million users. Sadly, they haven't released their statistics about their chatbots yet, but we can make a dedicated and very calculated case that they have great numbers there as well. And it's not just the platforms that are pushing. There are tons of chatbots out there that are used by like a ton of people. For instance, Swelly, the icon that you see with the whale and the little heart sign there, it's a social chatbot, and they have more than 3 million users. They're doing really well. Slightly different on a Sneaken, which is more of enterprise use, more of a productivity office tool, which you can use to schedule meetings. It's a chatbot that has a lot of users, and they claim to have analyzed more than 50 million meetings so far. So as you can see, users are getting on the chatbot bandwagon. Platforms have adopted it, and it's getting a lot of press. So it is everywhere. It's not just in messaging apps that you're seeing the explosion of chatbots. It's also voice platforms are bots of it, right? A recent study by Gartner said that 7% of American households currently own a smart speaker. Given that this technology is so new, it's a pretty high number, and they've also projected it to grow to a staggering 75% by the end of 2020. Huge numbers, because if you take a look at it in 4 years, you're seeing something that didn't exist previously grow to such a huge percentage. In fact, the one that's making the biggest stride so far is Amazon Alexa. If you all followed tech news in the last few months, you would have seen that in CES 2017 earlier this year in Las Vegas, Amazon Alexa stole all the headlines. It was proclaimed the winner of CES, unofficially of course, but it was a tech that had grabbed the most eyeballs, and everyone spoke about it. And they're well ahead of the curve. They already have more than 15,000 skills, as they call it, which is another way of putting it's a voice bot essentially. But Google Assistant and Cortana are not far behind, and they're catching up. So we have seen that messaging apps and voice platforms, they're all using bots. So which kind of begs one question: why not bots on websites too? Right? We've seen very primitive versions of bots on websites sometime back, but they didn't really work. But with the advancements of NLP tools, with the sort of predisposition for users to really use text and use conversation to do everything from commerce to solve customer service, why not bots on websites too? And there are several advantages of having bots on websites. And I'm going to stay on the slide for a little bit, because you can really talk about a lot of advantages that bots, voice or chat on websites really provide for a user and for the company. For instance, I think on the whole, it provides a really good experience for the user, right? You can have a personalized and very contextualized sort of response to the user. It could be in any field, but you can integrate it with your backend, integrate it with the user's credentials, and provide a very personalized sort of response to the user. And it's also instant, right? A lot of times the user wants quick and instant answers, as opposed to waiting for a customer service rep or waiting for someone to manually reply. Chatbots kind of provide that instant reply to really improve the experience for the user, which comes to my second point, which is it really improves your website's UX. The user is happy that he or she is getting instant answers and it's personalized. At the same time, you're kind of reducing the clutter on your website. A user is able to find things easily. A lot of people use, and we'll get to this later, but a lot of people use a bot as a sort of sitemap for their website, so that a user can search within their own portal. A bot on a website increases customer engagement and retention. Huge point. The great thing about a bot is it's an ongoing sort of experience for a user. So the next time a user comes, you can retain context and provide a very contextualized experience, which kind of makes a user want to come to that chatbot again and again, and hence come to that website again and again. And you can also push content that is relevant to the user, and this is obviously going to increase retention. You're also at the same time using automation to cut costs. A lot of the frequently asked questions are going to be similar, so you can really cut down costs by having maybe fewer customer service reps or fewer people to involve in lead gen, and essentially employ a chatbot to do the same. So we've spoken a little bit about how advantageous it is to have a bot on your website. We'll take a look at a few of the places where a bot on a website, or a few verticals where bots on websites really work. Right? We're going to take a look at the applications. The biggest sort of application is customer service. So in fact, a recent study by OneReach, study was I think a couple of years old, but it said that 65% of consumers with texting capabilities actually preferred using texting over voice as a customer service channel. right? And this holds true especially for the age group 18 and above, 18 to 34. They don't want to, call up a customer service rep, wait for like 10 minutes, dial a whole bunch of buttons only to not get a response. You'd rather use text because this, like I said, it provides an instant response, it provides a contextual and personalized response, and also at the same time, it frees the user to do the other things, right? If you're using voice capability here, you'll have to actually listen in to a phone conversation at all points of time, whereas text frees you to do other things. You could be driving and maybe do this at a signal. You could be at a meeting. You could be at work, at home, watching TV, whatever. You see an example here on the right from our friends at smooch.io. So they have implemented a pretty cool sort of customer success bot, which so essentially most of the queries are automated. So you'll get instant replies to most of the queries. The great thing also, what I mean by personalized responses is assuming you have, like, say, a bank website, and you could have a query as to why am I not able to log in. You can actually maybe use like an API integration to figure out what precisely the problem is with that user, as opposed to giving like maybe 5 generic answers and kind of letting the user figure out what's wrong. And this could work for a whole bunch of different things, right? If your chatbot is integrated with your product, you can give highly personalized sort of responses as to why certain problems are occurring or why users not able to access his or her account, and etc. Now, like I said, from experience, I've noticed that about 80% of all queries any sort of product website would get is all the same, right? But there are a lot of times when there's a query that might be outside of the sort of standard frequently asked questions. The great thing about having chat or a chat window on your website is that you can always integrate like a live chat / human takeover element into the bot, right? So you have your bot answer queries that commonly occur, and the user kind of gets instant answers. But say that there's a query that is out of those frequently asked questions, you can always switch to a human agent. And the great thing is you can feedback the answer that the human agent gives into your database of frequently asked questions. This means that you have obviously improved the strength of your database, and the next time a user asks a similar question, it'll already be there in the database and a user can get an instant answer again. So in a way, you're building like a sort of feedback loop. I mean, it's a primitive sort of way of saying you're building machine learning into your database of questions and into your chatbot, but essentially, yeah, you're making it smarter over time and making sure that it answers more questions. Another sort of vertical where you can actually use it is lead generation. It is used very commonly, especially in the real estate and in that sort of vertical. Right? So essentially, marketers can really use chatbots to generate leads from website visits. We often land up on a web page, but a lot of times our email ID or our contact details aren't captured by the website. A person closes the website, but still might be interested in some content that the website has. Right? A chatbot or voice bot perhaps is a great way to sort of get that email ID or get that phone number from the user. It's automated information gathering, so it's a very scalable sort of model. It's an ongoing engagement model, which means the next time as a user I come onto the website, I can get something that maybe a piece of content that I haven't seen before, or something that's very relevant to me. And it's also a great way to push relevant content to users. Content is one of the best ways to really engage with new users or existing users, and using a sort of pop-up with like a chat is a great way to engage with users. So you can see an example on the right when a user said, the user is interested in intrusion prevention with respect to malware, and the bot responds, do you want an overview of intrusion detection? Maybe you can send a white paper or a webinar or maybe a blog post, and this is content that the user really wants. So it's not going to be an annoying pop-up, but something that actually is of use to the user. Another application of chatbot on a website is conversational search. I think a lot of companies, including Microsoft, have said that the future of search is completely conversational. Right? So there are a couple of things here. One is search within a website where say you have a bot that exists on your portal. You can use the bot maybe to query for certain articles or use it as a sitemap basically, right? You can say, oh, show me articles about like cricket, for example, and it would give you relevant links based on what your search term, based on your search terms. But Microsoft Bing and a couple other search engines have actually done something interesting where you can access chatbots using Microsoft Bing's search engine page. For example, in the image that you see, someone's typed out Monsoon Seattle, and that's the name of a restaurant, and they have a chatbot on their website, and you're able to access the chatbot through the search result itself. And that's pretty cool because it's providing like one less of a hop for a user, right? You're bringing the user that much closer. It's straight from the search engine to the chatbot, as opposed to going to the restaurant page, looking for a chat option, and then interacting with the chatbot. You're kind of bringing that option closer to the user, so you're definitely going to have higher engagement. The last sort of application that we're broadly discussing is internal bots, right? So essentially, a lot of enterprises and a lot of companies have their own internal portals, and many of these, aren't still extremely, efficient. A lot of companies still use like slightly older methods of reporting and finding documents or onboarding for new employees and stuff like that. Having bots internally that exist on portals is like a great way to bring on board new employees. It's a great way for a existing employee to maybe find data about frequently asked questions. If because there's always like a knowledge base of things. It's just very difficult to find in traditional methods. And also it's a great way to find reports. For instance, you can, like in standard sort of Excel file, might give you very standard reports as to, okay, today's spending was so much, but with a chatbot and with some intelligence run, you can actually get different cuts of data, like saying, okay, how much did the company spend on employee engagement in these 3 months, something like that. Something that you would traditionally maybe have to manually compute or write a program to. Using some intelligence, you can actually build like really cool and well-built sort of bots for this. To give you an example, a leading online share trading company actually worked with us, Gupshup, to develop a bot for the internal portal, and they've actually seen engagement really improve, right? Because people are using it for logging their daily sales reports, but also for finding out frequently asked questions and things like that. So we're going to talk a little bit about how you can create a web widget using Gupshup. I'm going to defer this to my colleague Shreyans to take over. He'll also show you a demo on how you can actually do this. So Shreyans, over to you. Let me just make you the presenter. Yep, Shreyans, all you. Yeah, Shreyans, can you unmute yourself? I think you're on mute right now.
Hello? Yeah, I'm sorry. I think I had troubles with my networks. Sohan, can you make me presenter again? I'm really sorry, guys. Yeah, thank you for that. Sohan, it was a great insight about why we should be, thinking about building bot on website. So, few important notes as to how you can use the web widget on Gupshup. First of all, it is available as a channel on Gupshup, so you can create a bot on Gupshup and directly go ahead and publish it on for the web widget. It's a very easy integration. You get a script which you have to embed it into your HTML, and you're done. You will have a web widget bot right on your website. It is fully customizable. The UI is fully customizable. You can change a lot of feature things to relate it to your website itself. It supports almost all features that a Facebook Messenger supports, like carousel, structured message, and all. And we'll see it in a minute. And it also has a voice support, so that's pretty interesting because you can the user can actually and talk to the bot directly, and the bot response will be read out to the user. So we'll look at all these. Let's go ahead. So as I talked about customizable UI, so you can actually rebrand the widget as you like. We have options as to how you want it to look like in open mode, close mode, and you can change icons, you can change font, color, text, size of the widget, and do you want to, you know, you can also change the icon of the user, icon of the bot, as per your wish. So you can customize the UI fully to make it look like your website itself. It supports structured message, so the button template is supported where you can have text with buttons. It also supports quick replies, which almost looks the same way. So I haven't put a screenshot here, but it supports quick replies where the replies disappear after user has clicked on it. Then it also supports carousel, where you have a list of items with navigation bar, so that user can navigate through different items in it. And then you have the standard button using which user can tap, and your bot will get a response saying user wants to buy this, and you can go ahead and process that request. It supports video response, and the video plays inside the widget. Now the clarity of the video depends on how big the widget is, because or else user can click on it and it opens up the video in a new window as well. It also supports the persistent menu, so you can have menu, and it supports the 3 level of menu items as well. So you can have level 1 element, then the level 1 element has multiple items into it, and then those items have further menu items inside that. So we do support persistent menu in the web widget as well. Also the phone number feature, where you can include the phone number directly into the callers option. Now this only works when user is accessing the bot through their mobile phones. I mean, when they're using it on their phone through the widget, and it actually opens up the dialer pad of the mobile phone, and user can directly make a call through that. So let's look quickly, go ahead and look at a demo without further delay. So this is our website, gupshup.io, but I'm going to demo you first and then talk about it, how to do it. So this is I have hosted it locally, and this is my bot here. So as you see, there is a welcome message as soon as the user pops up the chat window. So it says, hello there, I'm a Gupshup bot. You can ask me a question about our platform, and it sends an image as well. So I'll go ahead and ask, saying, since we have products like Flow Builder, ID Bot Builder, and all. So I'll ask, what is Flow Bot Builder? And the bot will respond with text as well as a button to get started. And if I click on this, it actually go ahead and open the Flow Bot Builder page for me, right? I could ask it, saying, I want to try bots and what it gives me, a carousel list of different bots which I can, for example, which I can try. and I can navigate through them, and I click on this. Now this takes me to Facebook Messenger to test out the bot. So this is a Robin Assistant bot which is developed by Gupshup, and I can go ahead and interact with it with it. So moreover, I can also have the plain text capability where I can ask, or the video capability. Let's say I want, let's say, can I add HTTP call to my bot? And this gives me the video, which if I play will play inside this. Now this actually is playing, and it depends upon the screen size, the widget size. So I can click on this and it opens the video itself altogether. So this is also a great way. Then I can have plain text like what is a chatbot, and it will respond back with this, right? So again, I'll ask how to get bot on website. Let me just pause this video. So I'm hearing my video here. So yeah. And if I click on this, so let's talk about more features, more capabilities of this website. So this is a guide documentation which you can refer to for more information. So this is the script which you get from that. I'll show you in a minute how to do this, and then you can do all sort of stuff with it. So along with images, audio, video, and documents are also supported. So everything has been documented as to what JSON you have to send out. So you can send MP3, you can send the video, you can even send PDF or documentation to the user. So suppose Sohan was giving you an example for internal bot on website, right, where people can search for regular queries. Maybe someone wants some sort of form to submit to HR, and they just talk to the bot and get that form, download it, fill it up, and submit it to HR. So all those stuff can be made simpler using this web widget. Then you have the regular text with buttons. Then you have the carousel support, and you have the list support as well. And you have the persistent menu, you have the quick repel. One very good thing about this is we also have a load more feature. So now suppose you already have these many icons, you can add a load more button to it, and on if someone clicks on this load more, based on the text, you can go ahead and process send the user more of these buttons as well, more of these options as well. So you can look at this document as to what all things are supported. Now let's go ahead and look at what things can be customized, and how to get this widget onto your website. So let me go to my bot section. So this is our website, gupshup.io. I already have the bot built, and since we looked at the bot, we'll take that example. So I'll go to channels, click on channels to publish this. So Gupshup supports more than like 15 plus channels. You can have a look at it, including Google Plus, Facebook, Slack, Twitter, Skype, Microsoft Team, and everything, as well as web widgets, right? So, okay, I'm sorry, wrong key pressed. Let's this load again. I'll just go to web widget. Yeah. So this now takes me to the web widget screen where I can go ahead and change things. Now you have this as an example as to how it will look in open mode, then close mode, and then things. So let's go ahead and change few things. Let's go ahead, in open I want the support, the support text here. First of all, let me change the support text saying Gupshup bot. And let's change the color to, I want it to be red. I can say this as circular. Logo image. Let's go to close mode. Let me close this out. It says talk to the bot, and let's leave it to it is and change this to red. And let's go to content. So now content is like if you want to change this complete representation as to font size, if you want it to be 20 or you want it to be 16. You want to change this, so you will have to put the right thing there. That I'm going to leave it right now. The background color of bot, so whatever text the bot sends, it's the background text color of that. uh, bot's text color, so I'm going to leave it to black for now, and user's background color. So if you have blue, you can have more darker, whatever. It's totally up to you. So as I told you, you can customize a lot of things. Now in common, you can customize the width. So width is 350. I'll leave it to that. I will change the height. Let me change the height to, to 400. Background color is now the header color, so I'm going to change it to something, little, something matching our Gupshup brand, which is slightly orange. Well, that looks really bad though. So yeah, so all these things are, I can change text on this, on the vendor 20, and all those. Now if you want to add the persistent menu, you can put the, put the JSON here, and your persistent menu will be done. You can change the logo. I can, go to my images and change logo to, I have a Gupshup logo. Yeah, so it takes some, so I'll just crop and save to P, because Gupshup is not coming completely. For user, I can go ahead and, take the user from here, this as my user. So my user representation will be this. Bot, I'm going to leave this, and let me just save this, and I get the code. So this is the code I get, script. I have a website running, dummy website running. I'll just change the script into this, and I'll just save this because it's running on my local host. And let's go back to our, website, refresh this. And if you see, the changes are reflected. So that's how easy it is to embed this web widget into your into your website. Now I click on this, it still says hello, how are you, but it's all changed as to what we changed, right? The height, the width, and everything has changed as you would have liked, as you would have changed it, right? Important thing, we talked about, voice, right? So let me go ahead, in this, there's an option, select the widget to be voice or video. Let me click select voice, and I'll generate the code again, and I'll just go ahead and paste it again and save this. Now if you let me refresh this. Now if you see here, actually the bot is talking itself. I cannot show you that, but I can enter something like this. How can I get a bot on website? It's read it as bot, but it's a bot, and it is actually reading back. So yeah, that's how that's one feature which Google Home provides. So that is also supported on website, on our web widget. Beg your pardon. So I think that's for the demo. If you like to know as to how you can, add all these things, all these carousels and everything, it is all documented. You can go ahead and use it. And if you have not ever used Gupshup as a platform, you can go and look at our previous demos where we have previous webinars where we have talked about this multiple number of times, and we have the documentation for you to, go ahead and build your bot using the ID bot builder, or link your extra already built bot, link your bot to Gupshup, and you can go ahead and do that. Follow those guides, and you'll be able to get up and running quickly. All right, I think that's good for demo. A little bit, let me talk about Gupshup. So Gupshup offers tool for the entire bot lifecycle. So, from requirement gathering till, we offer you online ID where you can develop your code, develop your bot. You can, you don't even have to worry about having a local environment for writing it up. We provide you an option to test. So we have a Gupshup proxy bot on every channel which we support, and without even deploying, without even publishing your bot on those channels, you can go ahead and test your bot as to how it is behaving. Let me show you, quickly show you what is Gupshup proxy bot. So this is Gupshup proxy bot, and it can mimic any bot on our platform. So let me just say the bot which, for which we use widget bot, for which we use on our website. So we'll just proxy that bot itself. And the behavior doesn't change because that's how powerful the Gupshup platform is. You create one bot and it tries to work. It works on almost all the messaging channels we support, and if those features are supported on those platforms, and we try to normalize everything. So I can just go ahead and say I want to try few bots, and you'll see that I get a carousel which I got on the web widget as well. So yeah, so you can go ahead and create a bot on our platform, and you will be able to make it work on every messaging channels that we support. Then comes the deploy, so you don't even have to worry about hosting. We provide you one-click hosting solution where we host the code directly on AWS, uh, and you wouldn't have to spend any time figuring out how to host your bot. And then we have publish option where you just saw I went and published it on web widget. The same way you can go ahead and publish on Facebook Messenger, Twitter, Slack, and Google Home, and whatever messaging channel you like. Then we have monitoring in place where we keep checking the health of your bot, whether it is working or not. Well, that's an optional. You can turn it off and turn it on for a bot you have on our platform. Uh, we have analytics. We have let you promote it and everything. So yeah, we support the complete bot lifecycle. Now we have tools for everyone, from developer to a non-developer and a small business as well. So we have the IDE bot builder, which the developers can use and go ahead and build their bot using our cloud IDE and host it directly. We have a flow bot builder, which lets the designer design the bot flow and everything before even getting into actual bot building as well. Then we have a template bot builder where we currently support restaurant templates. So a small restaurant or business can directly go online with a bot using the template bot builder, which is more of search of the menu, go through the menu, and contact details and all those stuff is already inbuilt in it. So yeah, that's it. I would give it back to Sohan to conclude this webinar. Sohan, over to you.
Thanks, Rance, for that really comprehensive demo. So we will be taking questions right now, and feel free. We already got a couple of questions, but feel free to ask as many questions as you want, and we try and take as many questions. Also, as you can see on the screen, I'm just putting that up, but you can see our, just a second, yeah. You can see our gupshup.io/webinars, where we have links to all upcoming webinars. You can also write into us at developer@gupshup.io if you have any doubts, and tweet to us at twitter.com/gupshup. Okay, and there's also a link to the documentation page where you can see pretty much everything what we demoed today. So we've got a couple of questions already, quite a few actually. So first, Sushmita asks, is this web widget mobile responsive? Good question, Sushmita, and yes, it is mobile responsive. You can try it out. There are a few customizations that you might want to do on your mobile that you can actually write to us, and we can make those customizations from a backend, but it is mobile responsive. Okay, Vinay Jain asks, sorry, yeah. So Vinay has a question about can you show a demo of quick reply? I think Shreyans did show a demo of how the quick reply works, so you would have seen that earlier. Vish asks, will this work on Facebook? Again, Vish, you probably asked that earlier, but Shreyans did show the demo as to how the chatbot looked on Facebook Messenger. The same chatbot that you code on the Gupshup platform would work on Facebook Messenger, Slack, and of course the web widget as well. Right, a few more questions coming in. Yeah, Mohit asks, where can I manage reply messages? Yeah, Mohit. So basically, while coding, the message that the user responds basically comes as an input to the Gupshup ID, and that's where you'll have to manage it. Even the button, say you have a button that says yes and no, whatever the user clicks on will come as a message, and essentially on the backend, which is in this case the Gupshup ID, you're kind of handling each of those inputs, right? So we have done a ton of webinars earlier where we have shown creation of that parts of the chatbot. So maybe you can check those videos out or check our documentation. But essentially, yeah, we have an online ID, and that's where you would handle all these inputs. Okay, so Rajesh is asking a question which is pretty interesting. It says, can a human take over the chat if the bot doesn't understand the specific question? Yeah, Rajesh. So what you can do essentially, and I spoke about this earlier, is yes, you can have a human take over. You know, so what you have to do is if you'll have to code in the fact that if a bot doesn't understand a question or if a variant of the question asked doesn't exist in your database of questions, then you can do a manual sort of switch in the backend. You can use a platform to do that switch, and that's when it would switch to a human at the backend who would answer the question. Of course, you'll have to code in, that element of machine learning that I spoke about earlier, where the answer that the human agent gives is fed back into the system, so that you're creating like a feedback loop, so that the machine gets smarter. Ankan asked, can we integrate it with Skype? Yes, Ankan. Skype is one of the messaging platforms that you can integrate the bot with. Siva Kumar is asking a question that I think is on everyone's mind, which is, do you support WhatsApp? Siva Kumar, unfortunately, WhatsApp hasn't opened up their platform and hasn't opened up their APIs. So, WhatsApp in general doesn't support bots right now. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's the only messaging app or messaging platform that doesn't support bots. So, unfortunately, no one else does either. Yeah. Okay, so Arka is asking a question saying, how can we easily add bots in an existing WordPress site? So yeah, Arka, so essentially it's very similar to what Shreyans earlier showed you. If you are the owner of the existing WordPress site, of course, you'll have to create the chatbot on Gupshup. Like Shreyan showed, you will get a code snippet that you'll have to paste into the HTML of the WordPress site, and the bot will exist there. That's literally all you have to do. It's just a matter of copying some code and pasting it onto your website. Nico asks, does it support business logic? I'm not sure what you mean, Nico, but you can do pretty much anything that you want with the chatbot. You can speak to APIs, you can speak to external APIs, internal APIs, you can have databases, you can make it as complex as you want. So yeah, it supports pretty much any business logic. If you want to show it, you want to do some server-side, analysis or some processing, anything is possible. And think of it, as an open system where you can do pretty much anything. Okay. Yeah, so Kiran asks a question. I need to know how to set up dialogue, intent, and entities. So Kiran, yeah, that's a good question. We are essentially talking a little bit about natural language processing or NLP. We've done a couple of webinars on how you can add NLP to your chatbot. There are different ways you can do it. You can choose to use our own, which is Gupshup's NLP API. There are external NLP tools as well, like API.ai, bit.ai, Lewis.ai, etc. We have deep integrations with some of these. So essentially, you can use these tools to define your intents and entities, extract them, and process user conversations accordingly. Right. So I think without going into too much detail, that's what you can do. You can maybe look at a documentation or past webinars to figure out how. Okay, we're getting a lot of questions. I think this is a popular topic. Yeah, okay. So Rajesh asks a good question again. Does website widget to collect details of the user like lead gen? How will the widget handle that? So yeah, Rajesh, like I said, each chatbot creator on Gupshup comes with its own database. So there are a few things you can do. You can choose to store that, like say email ID, for example, in that database that we provide. But say you already have an existing CRM or an existing database of emails and you want to put it there. You have to write an API to store that email from the chatbot to your own existing database. Hope that answered your question. Okay, so Nico asks another question, which is, can you replace your mobile app as front end with the chatbot? Yeah, Nico, it is possible to do. So there are a couple of things that you can do. For starters, Gupshup has the Team Chat SDK that you can install onto your mobile app, and essentially a user can chat from there. It isn't a sort of system that we recommend to too many users, because getting users to download mobile apps is a big pain nowadays. And one of the reasons why users are gravitating more towards either a web widget or chatting with a chatbot on a social or a messaging platform is because people don't want to download too many apps these days. Theoretically, if you already have an app with a lot of users, then yeah, it is possible and it's something that you could do. Okay. Arka asks another question, which is what could a creative use of chatbot in a news portal? Good question, Arka, and it's the possibilities are endless in this case. For instance, say you know your users and you know which users are coming, so you can push very sort of personalized content to them. Someone might be interested in world news, whereas the other might be interested in sports news. So you can use a chatbot to kind of figure out what the user's interests are, and then push that sort of similar content. You can also use it to really push breaking news. You can use it for engagement, by having like say daily quizzes or trivia contests, that sort of thing. In fact, we Gupshup built the chatbot and the voice bot for VentureBeat. VentureBeat is a pretty famous tech publication, so you might want to check out the VentureBeat bot on Facebook Messenger and on Google Home, and you can see how the bot gives you very personalized sort of news pieces almost every day, and you can adapt it to your own news portal. Okay, so yeah, Anil again asks, I'm planning to add a chatbot in my e-commerce website. What is the procedure? Yeah, Anil, like Shreyan said, it's really simple. All you have to do is create a simple chatbot on Gupshup, hit the publish button, choose web widget, copy the code that's generated, and then just paste it onto your website. It's literally that much. Then, depending on the scope of your bot, you'll have to obviously code the business logic of your chatbot, but the integration part is really simple and should take you less than a minute. Okay. Siva Kumar asks that, people have mentioned that WhatsApp is coming soon. Any thoughts? Yes, I know that we all are waiting for WhatsApp to open up their APIs. The truth is, since the start of 2016, they have said that they will be opening up their platform for bots, but they haven't so far. So only time will tell. Right. Okay. Vinay asks, can I segment users based the conversation and retarget them? So yeah, Vinay, it is possible. What you have to do in this case is Gupshup has an integration with this tool called Dashbot. You can use Dashbot to segment your users based on demographics, location, and few other things. And yeah, then you can build in like few elements of retargeting to really sort of reel the users in. That's a good question though, and I think that's a great use case. Siva Kumar with another question. Do you have integration with Alexa or Google Home? Yes, Siva, the Google Home integration is live. The Alexa integration is maybe a week or a couple of weeks away. But like I said, it's a platform, so you code your bot once, you can push it to every channel. So my suggestion is to write your bot, push it to Google Home, test it out, and at the same time, when the Alexa integration is out, you can just check it out. Okay, we probably have time for one last question. So if anyone has any questions, please send it in. Yeah, Mohit asks, what is the minimum browser support for chatbot? Yeah, Mohit, any modern browsers would do. My suggestion is probably don't use IE like 5 or something like that, but any modern browser should be fine. Yeah. Okay, and I think this is the last question for the day. But Vinay asks, do you offer custom development of bot as a service? Yes, Vinay, we do. We have a very, very good solutioning team in-house that builds bots for customers. We have in fact built a ton of bots for really large enterprises, banks and finance companies, media companies such as Condé Nast, banks like HDFC and a few others. So yeah, we do have a solutioning team. So if you have any requirements, please write into us at developer@gupshup.io and we can take it forward. Okay then. All right. So I think we've answered most of the questions that came through. If you have any other questions, we're short of time, but you can always write to us. You can see the email ID developer@gupshup.io. Please feel free to write, and we'll take as many as we can. And yeah, that should be. Thanks so much for attending. I know it's a little late for many people who are attending this webinar, but thank you so much. We do webinars as almost every week, so just keep in touch with our Twitter ID perhaps, or just check your emails. Thanks again for attending this, and have a nice rest of the day. Cheers.